Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking on a topic that has simultaneously fascinated and, well, truly baffled people for millennia.
A big one.
A very big one. We're talking about Advaita Vedanta, the profound teaching of non-duality.
Which in Sanskrit is just so direct, it means not to.
Exactly, not to. And our source material for this deep dive it's just a fascinating mix. We have classical texts, the Upanishads, but also a lot of modern teachers who are trying to frame this for a skeptical mind.
And we have to state the mission sort of right up front.
Yeah.
Because it is the ultimate paradox. We are sitting here using language, using concepts, which are all about division.
Yeah.
Right? Subject, object.
This and that.
To point to something that comes before all of that division.
All right.
It's wonderfully ironic, isn't it? And the sources, they're very open about this. They say the goal here isn't to just pile up more information, more beliefs.
Right.
It's actually a process of unlearning.
So to do that, we need some kind of guide. A metaphor, maybe. And the classic one is just perfect for this.
The finger pointing at the moon.
The finger pointing at the moon. The teaching, the words, the philosophy. That's the finger. Don't mistake it for the moon.
But our sources, they add this incredible twist.
What's that?
They say the moon isn't some far-off spiritual prize you have to go get.
Okay.
The moon is what is looking at the finger right now. It is the awareness listening to these words.
Wow. Okay, so that immediately just throws out all the usual assumptions.
Completely. And this is so important for you, the listener, to grasp. Advaita is not a faith-based system. It does not ask for your belief.
And it's not offering like a comforting story about an afterlife or anything.
No, nothing like that. The sources call it radically empirical.
Radically empirical. I like that.
It just asks one question, really. What do you actually know to be true in your own direct experience right now before you put a label on it?
Okay, so let's start there. With the biggest, most obvious assumption that, frankly, causes most of our anxiety. And that is the feeling that I exist as a separate little entity right here inside this body, looking out at a world that is not me.
The sources call that the not.
The not.
And it's the toughest thing to question because it just feels so real, so obvious. We never even think to look at it.
But the moment you do...
The moment you sincerely look for that boundary, it starts to dissolve. I mean, think about your own body. We assume the skin is the dividing line, but that's totally arbitrary.
How so?
Well, you're not a fixed thing. You're a process, a continuous flow of energy and matter.
You mean like the air I just breathed in was outside a second ago and now it's inside, literally becoming my cells?
Exactly. And the food you ate becomes you, and the cells you shed go back into the world. So where exactly is that permanent fixed border between you and not you?
Physically, it's porous. I get that. But I still feel separate. I feel like I'm the subject in here and the world is the object out there.
Of course. And that visceral feeling is where the illusion really takes hold. But again, just look at your direct experience. You assume the world is external.
Yeah.
But every single sight, every sound, every thought, every sensation you have ever had has appeared where?
It's appeared within my consciousness.
Within consciousness. The so-called external world is only ever known as an internal experience.
That is a crucial point. We never actually experience out there. We just experience.
We have these concepts, space, time, distance, and they create the sense of a split. But if you just close your eyes, the whole visual world vanishes.
Right.
But the awareness of the absence of sight remains. Awareness is the constant. The world is just the content that comes and goes within it.
Which leads us straight into the classic dream analogy. It's so powerful here. When you're in a dream, the character you think you are feels completely real. That dream figure can feel terrified or joyful or think it's about to die.
But the dreamer, the awareness that the whole dream is appearing in, was never in danger. It was never bound by the little dream figure's problems.
And the I that we feel ourselves to be is just like that dream figure. It's a habit, a kind of a contraction.
And since that I thought is seen as the root of all our seeking and suffering, Advaita says, let's go right to the source.
With the direct path of inquiry.
Popularized by Ramana Maharshi. The question, who am I?
Now, this is where I think a lot of us can get stuck. We hear a question, we want to find an answer, a concept. I am a soul, I am the universe.
And that's the trap. It's not a question for the intellect to solve.
So how does it work? What are you actually doing?
You're not trying to find a verbal answer. You're tracing the feeling of I. That subtle sense of being a separate center. You turn attention away from all the objects, the thoughts, the world, and back towards the subject itself.
So if I ask, who am I, and the thought, I'm a podcaster, comes up.
You let the thought go, and you look for the I that had the thought. You trace it back. And what you find when you sincerely look for this fixed entity, this little CEO in your head,
You can't find it.
you can't find it. It's like trying to see your own eyes. The search itself dissolves, and what's left is just this quiet, open awareness.
The seeker was the sought.
The seeker was the sought all along.
Okay, let's shift to the architecture of this world we experience. This, beautiful, terrifying, constantly changing show. The Sanskrit term for this is Maya.
And Maya is probably the single most misunderstood concept in all of this.
Right. People hear illusion and they think hallucination.
They think the world isn't real. Like if I walk into a wall, it won't hurt.
Which it will.
It definitely will.
Okay.
So the sources are very clear. Maya doesn't mean the world is non-existent. It means the world does not exist in the way we think it does.
What way is that?
As a collection of separate, solid, independently existing objects. Maya is the principle of appearance. It's what makes the immeasurables seem measurable. The infinite appear finite.
The movie screen analogy is perfect here.
It is.
If we say that awareness, or Brahman ultimate reality, is the screen.
And let me just jump in there. Brahman is not a god, not a deity. It's just the name for unqualified, absolute reality, the ground of being, pure awareness.
Great clarification. So Brahman is the screen. It's untouched, it's changeless. Maya is like the projector casting images onto it.
Yes. You can have a raging fire on the screen, but the screen itself is never burned. You can have a flood, but the screen is never wet.
So the world is what the teacher Shankara called mithya.
Exactly. Not unreal, because we experience it, but not ultimately real, because it changes and depends on something else. It's an apparent reality.
The best way I've found to understand this is the rope and the snake example.
It's the classic illustration. A man is walking at dusk. He sees a snake on the path.
And he feels real terror. His heart pounds, adrenaline floods his system. The snake, for him, is experientially 100% real.
But it was never actually there.
It was just a rope. The snake was a misperception superimposed on the reality of the rope because the light was dim. Ignorance.
And the second he shines the light on it, the snake vanishes. But the rope is still there. The reality didn't change, only his perception of it.
The world doesn't disappear. The misperception of it as separate and threatening dissolves.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And to make this even more empirical, the teachings ask you to just look at the 3 states of consciousness you cycle through every day.
Right, from the Mandukya Upanishad. We start with the waking state.
The state, we assume, is the baseline, ultimate reality. But this entire world, with all its people and laws of physics, completely disappears every single night.
If something can just vanish and reappear, it can't be ultimate reality.
Then you have the dream state. Structurally, it's the same. A subject, objects, a story. It feels totally real when you're in it, which shows that the mind can create a convincing dualistic reality all on its own.
And finally, the most powerful evidence of all. Deep, dreamless sleep.
Yes. Here there is no world, no body, no mind, no I, no experience of duality at all. And yet when you wake up, you say, I slept so well. You feel refreshed.
Which proves consciousness was still there.
Consciousness was present, even when the mind, body, and world were all absent. It doesn't depend on them. It's a temporary return to the source.
So what is that constant factor?
That is what the teachings call turiya, or the fourth. And turiya is not another state you enter. It's the unchanging awareness that witnesses all 3 states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, come and go. It's the ground they all play out in.
Wait, I want to pause there. Is turiya just another word for Brahman, or just another word for awareness? How is it different from the consciousness I'm experiencing right now?
That is an excellent question. Turiya isn't a kind of consciousness. It's the simple, unqualified fact of awareness itself. Waking consciousness is awareness plus thoughts, plus sensations.
So awareness mixed with content.
Exactly. Turiya is the pure, contentless awareness that is the background of all content. It is Brahman, but experience as the core of the individual.
Yeah.
When you say, I am aware, that fundamental amness is turiya.
Okay, that makes it much clearer. It's not about achieving some new state. It's about shifting your identification to what's already here.
Precisely. And the methods for this are, at first glance, contradictory.
Let's start with the path of negation, the via negativa.
This is the instruction neti from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It means not this, not this.
And this is a very rigorous, systematic process.
It is. You patiently observe everything that arises in your experience, a thought, a feeling, a bodily sensation, and you negate its claim to being your ultimate identity. I am not this body, I am not this anger, I am not even the witness of this anger.
The point isn't to get rid of them, though, right? It's just to see they aren't what you are.
Exactly. You're just seeing through every label the mind tries to grab onto. And when you negate everything that can be known as an object, what's left?
The subject, the knower, which can't be known as an object.
And that's balanced by the great affirmation, the Mahavakya.
Tvam asi, that thou art.
The ultimate statement of identity. It's not saying you will become that one day. It's saying you are that right now. There's no distance.
The key realization being that the thou, the you in that sentence, isn't the little personality, the ego.
No. It's the pure underlying awareness turiya in which the ego appears. And the sources say that when this separation dissolves, the natural state that's revealed is what we call love.
But not love as an emotion that comes and goes?
Not at all. Love is the very texture of reality. The intimate, borderless recognition that there's nothing that is not you.
Okay, this brings us to the biggest practical question for anyone exploring this. If recognition is instantaneous, if we are that already, why does the separate self seem to stick around? Why do I still get anxious?
Because we have to make a crucial distinction between recognition and integration.
Recognition is the flash, the aha moment.
It's timeless, an instant of seeing the truth. But integration, that's a time-bound process. It's the body and the mind, the whole organism, slowly catching up to that reality.
This is where the idea of vasanas comes in, right? The momentum of old conditioning.
Exactly. The personality, the body-mind, it just keeps running its old programs out of habit. The thoughts still come, the reactions still happen, but your identification with them is fundamentally loosened.
The sources have a great image for this. A burned rope.
Yes. It still holds the shape of a rope, but if you touch it, it just crumbles into ash. The structure is gone. The body-mind becomes like a costume you wear, not a prison you're trapped in.
And this shift is everything when it comes to suffering.
Absolutely. Advaita demands we draw a very sharp line between pain and suffering.
Pain being the raw sensation, a stubbed toe, the feeling of grief. It's unavoidable.
It's part of the show. It rises, it passes.
The suffering.
Suffering is the extra layer. It's the mental story, the resistance we add on top of the pain. It's the voice of the separate self saying, this shouldn't be happening to me.
So the realization doesn't stop the pain, it just removes the me who is resisting it and building a whole drama around it.
The pain can then just pass through without getting stuck, without being personalized.
So to wrap up, it seems we come full circle. The whole epic search for freedom, for truth, it doesn't end with finding some new thing.
It ends in recognizing what was never, ever absent. The timeless, deathless presence that you already are.
Which has to completely change your relationship with mortality.
It does. For awareness, death isn't the great unknown. What dies is the person, the pattern of thoughts, memories, the body. But what you are, awareness itself, was never born in the first place.
It's not in time or space, so it can't die.
Exactly. The primal fear of death is just the fictional self, terrified of being exposed as a fiction. You can never actually experience your own absence.
So we want to leave you with one final provocative thought to take with you.
If the separate self is just a dream character and its constant seeking is the problem, not the solution,
then what happens when you fully accept that the knot cannot be untied by the one who is tied?
if the very effort to get free is just the ego trying to save itself, what kind of effort is left that isn't self-defeating?
The only thing that remained, really, is the effort of sincerity.
Yes, the effort of simply looking. That honest, direct observation exhausts the seeker. And when the struggle to find something else ends, the knot of the ego just naturally relaxes. Its true nature is revealed as open, peaceful, and already free.